After years of speculation, private conversations, and quiet rumors that swept through gospel circles, Pastor Joe Egbu, husband to world-renowned gospel singer Sinach, has finally spoken. And what he said, it's sending shockwaves through the entire gospel community. For a long time, people assumed they knew the truth. But what Joe revealed turned everything on its head. Sinach isn't just any gospel artist. She's a powerhouse. With songs like Waymaker touching hearts globally and her worship ministry transforming lives, she became a symbol of faith and hope for millions. But even while she stood boldly on international stages, there was always something quietly curious. Where was her husband? Pastor Joe Egbu, though known by name, was practically invisible in the public eye. The absence sparked questions. Why wasn't he at major events with her? Why didn't he ever post tributes or celebrate her achievements online? Some chalked it up to humility. Others weren't so sure. As the years passed and Sinach's career soared to new heights, the gossip didn't slow down. Fans speculated everything, from marital issues to jealousy and even emotional distance. Pastor Joe's silence became the loudest part of the story. In a world where many couples curate their love stories online, the lack of visible affection or support raised eyebrows. Sinach, always gracious, would simply say her marriage was private and that Joe was her backbone behind the scenes. But still, people whispered. Things got messier when bloggers and social media accounts started posting cryptic messages. Some claimed Joe was trying to control her ministry, pulling her back from traveling too much. Others accused him of being uncomfortable with how far she'd come. And then came the most painful rumor that they were no longer truly together, just living under one roof for appearances. Though Sinach never publicly responded to the noise, her poise and focus on ministry kept her fans loyal. But behind the scenes, Joe was feeling the pressure. Sources close to the couple say he struggled with how people were painting him. He felt misjudged, misunderstood, and eventually disheartened. He stayed silent to protect his wife, but the silence only made things worse. Until this year. In a private event that wasn't meant to go public, Pastor Joe finally addressed the elephant in the room. His remarks, recorded and leaked online, took everyone by surprise. I've kept quiet out of respect, he said, but silence has been mistaken for weakness. I never stopped supporting her. Not in prayer, not in private, not ever. That one line lit up the gospel world. Soon after, Pastor Joe shared a longer, heartfelt message during a men's ministry gathering. It was supposed to be a closed conversation, but someone recorded it and now it's everywhere. He spoke candidly about the reality of being married to someone who has become a global spiritual force. Yes, it's hard, he admitted. When the woman you love is known all over the world, it tests your ego, but that doesn't mean you're jealous. It means you're human. He went on to talk about the quiet sacrifices, the rehearsals he sat through, the private prayers, the times he held her when no one else saw the pressure weighing on her. People only see red carpets, he said. They don't see the covenant. He admitted they'd had disagreements, even arguments about tours and ministry choices, but insisted the love had never disappeared. And when it came to why he didn't speak earlier, not everything sacred has to be public, he said. I chose to protect our peace. But perhaps the most moving moment was when he confessed how all the criticism almost drove him away from ministry altogether. There was a time I felt invisible, like I didn't matter, like I was just her husband. But God reminded me, I'm not called to be famous, I'm called to be faithful. Reactions flooded in. Some praised his vulnerability, calling his honesty refreshing and mature. Others were more skeptical, suggesting it was a calculated move to regain public favor. Gospel influencers chimed in, fans debated online, and the gospel world was suddenly abuzz with hashtags and threads dissecting every word. But while all eyes were on Pastor Joe, everyone was waiting to see what Sinach would do next. Would she respond? Would she confirm his version of events? As usual, Sinach didn't rush to speak. She didn't hold press conferences or write lengthy posts. Instead, she let her worship do the talking. Just days after Joe's comments went viral, Sinach posted a deeply emotional video of herself leading worship, singing "You Are Always There to Help Me" through tears. No caption, No context, just worship. The moment was raw and powerful. Fans interpreted it in different ways. Some believed it was a quiet message of support. Others felt it was her releasing years of emotional weight. In the days that followed, she made a few subtle moves that spoke volumes. She refollowed Pastor Joe on Instagram, something that hadn't gone unnoticed when she unfollowed him months earlier. She also shared a photo from their wedding day on her story. No caption again, just the image. And then she posted a scripture. Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. It felt like a silent but strong message. She wasn't walking away. Not from her husband. Not from the storm. Not from grace. Insiders say Sinach was deeply moved by Joe's decision to finally speak. She had always defended him privately and believed his story would come out in the right time. And it did. Maybe not perfectly. Maybe not with everyone's approval. But it came from a place of pain, faith, and growth. The reactions from the gospel community were as powerful as the story itself. Pastors used their pulpits to speak on the issue, addressing the often overlooked struggles of high-profile Christian marriages. One pastor asked, "Do we give space for our men to feel like kings when their wives are being crowned publicly?" Others reminded their congregations that ministry marriages are still human relationships, filled with challenges, vulnerabilities, and sacrifices. Gospel artists also weighed in. Mercy Chinwo reposted Sinach's worship clip with the caption, "This is how queens speak, tears before God, not noise before man." Nathaniel Bassey tweeted, "Ministry is hard. Marriage is harder. Doing both in public? That takes grace." Fans, too, started reflecting. Many admitted they had unfairly judged Joe without knowing the full story. Some said they'd learned a lesson about quick assumptions. Others felt it was a beautiful reminder that even the most admired figures carry silent battles. What this entire moment did was pull back the curtain on something bigger. It wasn't just about Sinach and Joe anymore. It was about all the Christian couples navigating their callings while trying to stay connected as partners. It was about the cost of fame, the pressure of expectations, and the beauty of finally saying, "I'm struggling," without shame. At 56, Pastor Joe Egbu did something few expected. He showed the world that even in silence, a man can carry weight, that love can still be real even when it's invisible to the public eye, and that healing sometimes starts with truth. And Sinach? She reminded us that strength doesn't have to shout. It can cry. It can worship. It can post a wedding photo with no caption and let the spirit say the rest. So whether you're a worship leader, a fan, a husband, a wife, or someone just trying to hold it all together, you're not alone. Love doesn't always look perfect. Sometimes it looks like one person finally speaking and another choosing to stay still, trusting that grace